up on Falcon Weekly, a pink slip on the plains. Auburn head coach Chizik is out of a job. Find out how local Auburn fans are reacting.
Plus, which party-hard rock star may soon be cultural ambassador to the Middle East.
And this Gangnam-style Christmas light show is getting a lot of national attention. Check it out next on Falcon Weekly. Welcome to Falcon Weekly. I'm Ashley Rogers.
And I'm Coleman Sears. Thank you so much for joining us.
The SEC has experienced several head football coaches being fired this season.
And now Auburn's Chizik is the latest coach looking for a new job. Falcon Weekly's Mandy Hawkins joins us live from the newsroom with more on Chizik's firing. Mandy?
2 years since winning the BCS championship with a 14-0 season, Auburn's head coach Chizik has been fired. The announcement was made on Sunday after the Tigers lost to Alabama in the Iron Bowl Saturday. This season is the first time since 1980 that Auburn has suffered a 0-6 record in SEC play, and it's the worst season they have had in 60 years. Chizik is also the first coach to be fired within 2 years of winning a national championship. And some Montevallo students think that Chizik was a better coach than he was given credit for.
At least 1 year. They fired him over 2 years of having a losing record. And I mean, people talk about Cam Newton saying that it was all him. It wasn't all him.
Auburn fans questioned Chizik's hiring from the start, and the school now owes Chizik $7.5 million as payout for the rest of his contract. If Chizik finds another job, then his new salary will be deducted from the buyout. The rest of his staff of 9 will split about $3 million for their terminations, though they have been told they can reapply with the new head coach. Other fans think that a new coach could be good for the team.
I think it could go both ways, but I think it's depending on who they get for a coach, it'll probably be a good decision.
Auburn was outscored 174-21 in its final 3 losses of the season against Texas A&M, Georgia, and Alabama. This has been Mandy Hawkins reporting.
Thanks, Mandy.
Auburn now joins Arkansas, Kentucky, and Tennessee on the search for a head coach.
In other news, a South Alabama community is in shock after a man shot a sheriff's deputy to death and critically injured another. Investigators say that Scott Jansen shot and killed Deputy Scott Ward while deputies were responding to a disturbance last Friday. Another deputy was shot multiple times and is in critical condition. Officials say Jansen was killed in the firefight. The Baldwin County Sheriff is asking for people to pray for the deputies' families and for his department.
In world news, unrest in the Middle East may be coming to a close sooner than is expected, as Egyptian mediators begin talks with Israel to flesh out details of a ceasefire that was agreed upon last week. The Egyptian brokered ceasefire went into effect last Wednesday, ending a grueling battle between the two sides that has cost the lives of 167 Palestinians and 6 Israelis. But there are still some issues that have not been worked out. Access to borders, free movement for Gazans, and the transfer of goods are all still up for discussion. Cairo officials are pushing for an agreement to be made soon to end the violence. Israeli Defense Minister Ehud Barak has resigned from his post, citing his family as the reason. In the midst of a very heated period for Israel, Barak says that he wants to spend more time with his family. The defense minister claims that as of now, he is through with politics.
Recently, world-renowned rocker and partier Andrew WK released a statement to his fans that he had been appointed cultural ambassador to Bahrain. Although today the State Department released a statement saying that they had no knowledge of WK's recent statement. Later, WK came out on Twitter and claimed that the whole thing was indeed going to happen, but it wouldn't be a shock to those that follow the singer if this whole thing was indeed a hoax, considering WK is linked to many low-level conspiracy theories. So although we aren't sure whether or not WK will be an ambassador to the Middle East, we are sure that his message of positivity is one that all of us could use. Coming up after the break, Black Friday shopping records were shattered over the weekend, and now shoppers are hitting the web to find great deals. See what you need to do to keep yourself safe during Cyber Monday.
And we will have our weekly checkup with the tech doctor, Matt Sanderlin. Find out about a new app that can help you manage your movie collection. Those stories and more when Falcon Weekly returns.
Welcome back to Falcon Weekly. Last week was the Thanksgiving holiday.
And for millions of people, part of the holiday was spent shopping for gifts. Shoppers packed into stores and also hit the web to get good deals. While many people like to wait to shop online on Cyber Monday, this year, many folks clicked their way to holiday bargains on Black Friday instead. A report from ComScore, an internet analytics firm, found that Black Friday online shopping set a new record this year and is up more than 26% compared to last year's numbers. U.S. shoppers spent more than $1 billion. ComSource also said that more than 57 million Americans visited online retail sites. Amazon was the most viewed, followed by Walmart, Best Buy, Target, and Apple.
Although millions of people shopped online for Black Friday, millions more waited until today for Cyber Monday. Karen Caffey shares some shopping tips for those who plan to enjoy their shopping experience from the convenience of their home or office.
If Black Friday crowds and Black Friday chaos warrant your style, you may fare better with Cyber Monday. A survey of retailers finds that more than ever will offer Cyber Monday deals, aiming for the 72 million Americans who say they'll do some holiday shopping from the office this year. When shopping online, confirm a website is secure before entering any information. Look for an S after HTTP in the URL. Paying with a credit card will offer more protections than debit. Check statements regularly to make sure the only charges are ones you've made. And keep record of order confirmations and receipts with a designated folder in your inbox or with an app like Slice. Speaking of apps, retailers officially adopted the Cyber Monday moniker in 2005. And 7 years later, it may be time for a name change with a boom in mobile and consumers shopping from smartphones and tablets. A reminder for those who shop on the go, don't use public Wi-Fi, only secure connections. Lock devices with a password so data is protected even when your phone is out of your hands. And work within apps from trusted sources. Adding another incentive for Cyber Monday shopping, the National Retail Federation says about 4 in 10 retailers will offer free shipping with no conditions attached. I'm Karen Cafa reporting.
Everyone knows the classic Christmas song, The 12 Days of Christmas. From the partridge in a pear tree to 12 drummers drumming, did you ever wonder how much that might cost? Well, a new study shows the actual cost for these 364 items is more than $107,000, and that's up more than 6% from last year's cost. And just in case you were curious, swans are the most expensive item on the list at a whopping $1,000 each, while partridges cost the least at only $15.
A Texas man is getting a lot of his attention for his high-tech Christmas light display. Take a look. The homeowner strung more than 25,000 LED lights on his home and synchronized the light show to music. And of course, one of the most popular songs this year is Psy's Gangnam Style. The homeowner says all those LED lights will only add about $15 to his power bill for the month of December.
That's right, Coleman. Gangnam Style is just about everyone's favorite song right now and has reached a new milestone that just might upset some Justin Bieber fans. Christina Mochler has that and more in this week's Hollywood Minute.
South Korean rapper Psy has taken the top spot on YouTube. Over the weekend, the singer's Gangnam Style video surpassed Justin Bieber's Baby as the most watched clip on the site, with 813 million views in just 4 months. It took Bieber more than 2 years for his video to get to the 800 million mark. The Gangnam Style dance has become an international viral sensation since the 34-year-old rapper released the video in July. Actor Larry Hagman died during the Thanksgiving weekend at age 81. The actor was filming an episode of TNT's modern-day remake of Dallas when he was hospitalized for complications related to his cancer. No new movies were able to top the holdover blockbuster franchises during Thanksgiving weekend. Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2 was the box office champ for the second week, bringing in $64 million. Skyfall, the James Bond franchise, came in second, followed by the Spielberg biopic Lincoln. The 5-day Thanksgiving run brought in a record-breaking $290 million total. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Christina Muchler.
If you like to buy movies on DVD or Blu-ray, it can be easy to forget which movies are already in your collection. But a new app is making it easier to keep track of your movies. Our resident tech doctor, Max Sanderlin, shows us how in this week's Tech Check.
Thanks, guys. Welcome to this week's Tech Check. I'm Matt Sanderlin. I've got Mandy Hawkins here with me this week. We're going to take a look at a new iPhone and Android app that just came out recently. It helps you manage your movies on the go as well as on your computer and at your house. Basically, this is how the app works right here. You turn the scanning mode on like this, and you just hold it up to a barcode. And based on that barcode, it's going to tell me what version of the movie it's in, what format it's in, DVD, Blu-ray, that sort of thing. It'll allow me to view a trailer. It'll tell me when the movie came out, give me all the basic information, even plot overview and everything like that, all the special features. And then when you add all these movies to your collection, you can view it in kind of a shelf mode like that, or in cover flow like that. So Mandy, do you watch enough movies to where you think this will be beneficial, or I guess own enough movies to where you think this would be beneficial?
Yes, I do. I've been out with a lot of people, and they buy the duplicate of a movie because they don't even remember that they bought it already. So with this, they can just go out and scan it and know that they have it already or not.
This is true. And there's a free version to it as well as a paid version. And the paid version, I think, is about $3 or $4, so it's pretty reasonable. But it's good for cinephiles as well as just for casual movie purchasers out there. But that's this week's Tech Check. Back to you guys.
Still ahead on Falcon Weekly, Hurricane Sandy survivors are struggling to stay warm as winter weather rolls into the Northeast. See how UM students can help out the hurricane survivors. And
a circus camel gets angry with his trainer. Find out what it does next. We'll be back. Welcome back to Falcon Weekly. We need to clarify a story we reported earlier. The app featured in the Tech Check segment is called My Movies and is available in the App Store, on iTunes, and on Google Play. There are lots of happenings on campus this week. Carmichael Library is hosting late-night study hours on Tuesday. The walk-in tutoring sessions will be held in the Learning Enrichment Center from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. The subject includes sections of math and science, foreign language, English, history, communications, and economics. UPC is hosting a silent disco at 7 p.m. in the Student Life Center Wednesday. At a silent disco, participants don headphones and listen to one of 2 different DJs. Those without headphones hear no music, and it looks as if the guests are dancing to silence. The Aspire Student Advisory Board is holding a relief drive for survivors of Sandy. They call for donations continues until December 7th, and the drop-off site is located in the lower level of Main Hall next to Anna Irving Dining Hall. Some of the supplies needed include non-perishable food, clothing, household supplies, cleaning agents, school supplies, and pet supplies. In other news, Hurricane Sandy, temperatures in New York City are dropping to freezing at night, a real concern for the victims who are still without power. These people are relying on tents, portable heaters, and blankets to keep warm. Volunteers are serving hot food and giving out supplies to storm victims. As of this weekend, officials said thousands remain without power in New York and New Jersey. Here in Montevallo, we'll have a little bit of a cold front arriving later this week. Weatherman Matt Sanderlin is in and has more details on this week's forecast. How's the weather looking this week, Mr. Matt?
Well, it's looking pretty good. It's kind of up and down this week. Let's take a look at the graphic. All right, so as you can see, the temperatures are kind of all over the place. Tomorrow and Wednesday, we're going to have highs in the low 60s, and the lows will be in the low 30s. Thursday, we'll see the temperatures kind of move up into the low 70s, with lows scattered throughout the 40s and 50s. Also, we've got a 60% chance of rain today, as well as a 50% chance of showers tomorrow, and the rest of the week looks pretty clear. That's pretty much it. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. Changing gears, a camel escaped from a circus in California over the weekend, causing a bit of a traffic jam in the city of Glendale.
That's right, Ashley. Reporter Juan Fernandez tells us more about the camel chaos.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ramos Brothers Circus.
For the first time in almost 30 years, the circus comes to Glendale. And boy, did it make a splash, not for what happened under the big top, but just outside it. Watch this video of a camel running down Glendale Boulevard.
The last thing you want to see is a camel let loose on the streets, so it's a little bizarre.
That camel is actually 4-year-old Atula, born right here in Southern California. Atula is part of the Ramos Brothers Circus from Guadalajara, Mexico.
This is the good girl camel.
According to her handler, she was about to be taken inside the ring for some exercise, but wasn't too excited about a new trainer putting on her harness. So she simply took a walk, then a gallop, until trainers caught up with her across the street at the mobile station.
I see like 10 people run after this camel. All cars stop. There's complete chaos on Glendale Avenue. I don't think that street has seen so much action.
No one was hurt, but traffic did stop until Atula was safely back in her enclosure. In her short 4 years, her trainers say she's never run away. But apparently she's the type that lets you know when she's not up to doing something.
If we would have had a tiger or an elephant running, I would have not liked to see them, because we have enough mountain lions in Glendale.
It was a big week for rivalries in college football this weekend.
Joseph Antonio joins us for a look at sports.
Well, the state of Alabama was divided this weekend during the Iron Bowl. We'll take a look at Alabama's dismantling of Auburn. Plus, cheerleaders for one pro football team shed their locks for cancer research. Next in sports. Welcome back to Falcon Weekly. I'm Joseph Antonio, and here's a look at this week's sports. This Saturday marked the 77th meeting of the Iron Bowl between Alabama and Auburn. For both teams, there was a little more than just statewide bragging rights at stake. Let's take a quick look at the action now. The Tide wasted no time in asserting their dominance over the struggling Tigers, as Bama scored 42 points in the first half alone. Here's 7 of them right here, as Tide quarterback A.J. McCarron hooks up with Amari Cooper on a 40-yard bomb for the touchdown. McCarron was shined brilliantly yet again as he matched his career-best 4 touchdown passes for the 3rd time this season. Eddie Lacy and T.J. Yeldon would add the finishing touches as they combined for 3 touchdowns on the ground. The Tide rolls over the Tigers 49-0. For Auburn, the loss sealed the fate of head coach Gene Chizik, who was fired Sunday following a disappointing 3-9 season. AU Athletic Director Jay Jacobs says he has formed a search committee to help find a new head football coach, but refused to comment on any specific coaching candidates. Jacobs says the search will move as quickly as possible and that the current $11 million buyout for Chizik and his coaches will not affect the outcome of the search. Alabama's Iron Bowl win keeps their national championship hopes alive as the Tide travels to Atlanta this Saturday to take on the Georgia Bulldogs for the SEC Conference crown. The winner will advance to the BCS title game. The game will feature 2 of the nation's most efficient quarterbacks, with A.J. McCarron from Alabama and Aaron Murray of Georgia. Game time is set for 3 p.m. this Saturday on CBS. The SEC championship winner may very well decide one of the teams picked to play for the BCS national title, but one college team already has reservations for Miami. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish punched their ticket to South Beach this weekend with an impressive 22-13 win over rival Southern California at the Los Angeles Coliseum Saturday night. The championship game appearance is Notre Dame's first since 1988, which happened to be the last time the Irish finished the season atop the college football universe. In campus sports news, the Falcons took a break from all athletic activities this past week due to the Thanksgiving break. The men's basketball team returns to action this Tuesday night at home against Tuskegee. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. at Bank Trust Arena. For the rest of your Montevallo sporting news, stats, and analysis, tune in every Wednesday night to Falcon Fever. A surprise shower hit this weekend during an NFL game between the Miami Dolphins and Seattle Seahawks. The fun began when the Dolphins sprinkler system was activated during the middle of the game, momentarily disrupting play. Regardless of the shenanigans, the Fins would come back to beat the Seahawks 24-21. And that is this week's Look at Sports.
Thanks, Joseph. Isn't it ironic that they're the Dolphins and the Seahawks and water?
Yeah, it is a little convenient that would happen.
Too convenient.
Yes. This weekend, 2 Indianapolis Colts cheerleaders supported more than just their team. They shaved their heads on Sunday to support their cancer-stricken coach, Chuck Pagano.
The cheerleaders agreed to shave their heads if fans donated more than $10,000 to cancer research. With Megan M. and Crystal Ann's help, the donations ended up topping $22,000. Since the Indianapolis coach was diagnosed with cancer, more than 24 Colts players have shaved their heads. Now, who says bald isn't beautiful? Well, that wraps up this show for this week. I'm Coleman Sears.
And I'm Ashley Rogers. We'll see you again next week.